there. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. And I can't believe that it's probably been less than, oh, that's probably more than 12 hours since I was on last. But it feels like it was just a few minutes ago, really. But I hope that you are doing well thus far for this weekend. It's been a lot going on. As you can see, we're going to be covering a bit of the gamut in this video, just in two different franchises for the Housewives. But I definitely wanted to get both of them in because we are hearkening on the countdown for what would be, I believe, the season finale for Real Housewives of New Jersey this evening. So I wanted to get this video out, and I also have another video that's going to be coming out within a couple hours from this one dropping that will be available as well, that will delve into a few more things that I wanted to cover in that video. So for this one, we're going to be covering Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Mauricio, and just a real quick I don't know, cap on him, I guess, or recap on him. And not even a recap, just a moment in time. And then we're going to move over to New Jersey, and we're going to talk about some revelations that have been shared as a way to prep up. Now, a lot of you, if you're watching this video, may have been keeping up with both of the shows, and in particular, the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So you were probably familiar with some stuff that we're going to talk about, but there's going to just be some behind the scenes and some kind of coverage in those arenas. And I just want to get your thoughts, and I wanted to share my thoughts as well. Now, naturally, I will be doing the same thing again for the next video that's be popping on. And I just wanted you guys to have the opportunity to see both of them before tonight's premiere. Check your local listings. But I do believe it's coming on 8 p.m. Eastern, so on the eastern side, so of the United States. But check your local listings, of course, so you can make sure of the time. Because, you know, sometimes depending on what they've got running, it could either be 8 or 9. And this time it's going to be 8 for us. So that being said, I also wanted to just touch base real quickly before we get into this video, that we had quite a few notable passings over the last 2-3 days at this point now. One with the most recent, as of me filming, Shannon Doherty from many different shows that we've seen, obviously. Beverly Hills 90210, Charmed are the two most notables, but she's done a lot of other things as well. So I do want to do a bit of a sharing about those 4 pivotal individuals who have passed away. Those would be Dr. Ruth. I'm sure a lot of y'all will remember her. Richard Simmons. Okay. And of course, Shannon Doherty and Shelley Duvall. So I did something similar with Tina Turner when she had passed. I just want to do kind of a reflective sharing on her. And so I wanted to do the same, but because of all of the events that have been occurring, and definitely the schedules of how some of the stuff is coming out, just for some of the content that I'm sharing, they're running into each other naturally. So I still want to take the time to do that and share that. So that will be coming in a upcoming video. So be on the lookout for that. And definitely make sure you have your notification bells on, so you'll know when it will drop. And of course, too, if you are new here, hopefully you will decide to go ahead and subscribe and be part of the family, because of course I would love to have you. So why don't we go ahead and get into this first sharing, and we're going to start off with the easier one, because it really is easy. And I honestly don't know how Kyle is making it these days. You know, she tends to be very emotional, and obviously because the show is always reflective of her family and what's going on. I did see a live a couple of days ago where she was, it was being shared about a live that she did. And she was like, you know, I've had enough family stuff that I don't want to talk about. So I don't blame her, because that's always been the cornerstone of her storylines. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Her husband, Mauricio, for all of you that are following or know or aware, you really don't have to be following that much. If you're just watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you already know all that you need to know. But right now, Kyle Richards and Mauricio are in a space of separation, I believe. I don't know if they're still both living in the same home as they were at the end of the season for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills closing in. but they are going through some marital strife at this point. It is now pretty much out there for everyone to be familiar with. We do know that Kyle had a little bit of what seemed to be maybe a tryst, or at very least a very good friendship with another individual whose name I cannot reflect on at the moment. If you remember, you can drop it down in the comment section below. And of course, Mauricio has been kind of doing his thing a little bit, it appears. If you may recall, Mauricio was on one of the episodes for Dancing with the Stars. I have not watched Dancing with the Stars in full in quite some time. I used to watch it years ago, but it's been quite some time. But I do know he was on it, and of course, there was a bit of an issue there with the actual person that was his partner and how close that they seemed to be getting. And it appeared that it really did bother Kyle as far as that closeness. Now, I haven't seen anything in regards to any interaction between Mauricio and his former partner for Dance with the Stars until now. So basically, Mauricio just had a birthday, and along with that birthday, he had a shout out from an old friend. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, according to Bravo.com, Mauricio Umansky gets a sweet tribute from Dance with the Stars Emma Slater. And basically, I guess she's saying something about she can't believe. Now, this is obviously Kyle Richards' estranged husband, but he did apparently felt the love from his former dance partner on his birthday. Now, Mauricio Umansky is feeling the love from his former dance partner, Emma Slater, on his birthday. Again, he just passed about a week or so ago. Basically, the estranged husband of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Kyle Richards turned 54, and Emma wanted to pay him a tribute onto his Instagram. The professional dancer has shared a solo shot of Mauricio at an event for the agency on her stories. Legend Mauricio Umansky, she captioned in the shot, and again, she just shared simply happy birthday. She also posted a photo of her posting alongside Mauricio and an internet personality, Lily Pons. She basically shares on that posting, happy birthday, Mauricio, and happy birthday, Lily Pons. Can't believe I have this photo of you both, and that it's also my half birthday today. She wrote along with 3 crying, laughing emojis. So funny. Love you both. Now, Mauricio Umansky's and Emma Slater's relationship basically starts off with the fact that the agency founder had first got to know Emma when they were paired up on Dancing with the Stars in 2023. During their time on the show, Emma and Mauricio grew close, and their connection ultimately upset Kyle. After seeing a photo of the former dance partners holding hands, Kyle said it did not feel good. We are separated, and we're allowed to do what we want, each of us, she said on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13 reunion. But it's weird because we live together in the same house, so it's sort of like, what are you doing? In May of 2024, Emma has spoke about her connection with the real estate businessman in a chat with US Weekly. I really think that Mauricio is someone who's going to be in my life forever, she said about her bond with the dad of 4. We really do click. As Emma explained, she connected with Mauricio as the two were navigating their respective splits. She announced her separation from fellow dancer Sasha Farber in 2022. Now, Kyle Richards admits seeing Mauricio Umansky and Emma Steamy dance was hard. We sort of went through difficult times at the same time together, and each other's confidence, she continued. It was really a nice season, difficult for both of us, but we're really, really grateful that we had each other. And of course, you're more than willing or knowing that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is, I think, running on Peacock now since the season is in hiatus. And I would love to know your thoughts. So here's mine. Okay. It's a tricky situation, right? We have heard a lot of stories, or at least I know I have, a lot of rumored stories that there have probably been some issues with fidelity, therefore being infidelity in the marriage between Kyle and Mauricio for quite some time, actually. If you are a Beverly Hills watcher from years, seasons past, there was a psychic on there who basically kind of let the cat out of the bag that there was going to be some issues down the pike. And of course, Kyle was extremely offended by that situation, and just shot all that stuff down. And now look, here we are some years later, and there was some corpse back about that particular psychic and really what she was feeling and thought about her prediction. Um, I don't know if Mauricio and Kyle are going to reconcile and get back together. To me, it seems so messy, and I don't see a pathway in which that will happen. But this is reality TV, and you never know. Sometimes things will flip on a dime. Sometimes you need things for a storyline. Now, it appears that this is probably not for a storyline. This is actually what is happening. There were some revelations that was also shared in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills from Kyle, and what she was sharing that something had apparently had occurred or happened that I guess it was just the straw that broke the camel's back, and this is why we're in the state that they are in their separation. So will they be able to bring it back together? Who knows at this point. I wonder though if it still bothers her to get the shout outs from the dancer. Me personally, look, I get it that, we're kind of, I guess, in a space and time now where it seems like the concept of the Institute of Marriage is not as held in high regard as it really should be. And that's my thoughts, my opinion, my feelings. I am of the notion of, even if you are in a separation and you're not fully, completely divorced, I think it's a real tricky thing to be, at least visually putting out there that you are hanging out and in the streets. I think for me, in my opinion, maybe that's the time that you should kind of cool off and reflect and try to see what you can do to either salvage the situation if it's salvageable, or at least get yourself together, because nobody wants a messy situation out of anything when someone's getting out of a divorce. So I wonder about that. And, we do know that Kyle has shared that she's dealt with anxiety and stuff like that in the past. And I cannot imagine that this is helping, that's helping the situation for her. Or is it that she's released of that anxiety now that she's no longer with him? That would be an interesting area to explore. Maybe we may hear of some of it when the next season for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills returns. So yeah, your thoughts about that I would like to know. Quite frankly, do I think the young lady was being messy? I kind of do. I mean, was it necessary to plaster that all over the place? I kind of feel that way. Do you think she cares? Probably not. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. I would think a little bit of discreet would be better. But, who am I? That's my thoughts on that. I just don't think that I would do that. I think that that's kind of adding fuel to the fire. It's really quite unnecessary. But here we are. So I would love to know your thoughts. Do you think that this was a little bit on a tacky side? Or do you think that, hey, look, they're divorcing. They feel at least they're separated, splitting. We think a divorce is imminent, or maybe not so imminent, but it's forthcoming. And so, hey, they can do whatever they want. She seems to be okay with it. I mean, that's what her mouth says. I don't know if that's really how she feels. But, I would love to know your thoughts. So kindly leave those thoughtful comments down in the comment section. Let's talk about it because, you may not think that same way as I do. And if you do, I sure like to know as well. All right. So let's go ahead and move on over to New Jersey, because we have a little bit to talk about there. And we are getting into, well, as you can see, we're talking about consequences, right? Repercussions and consequences. All right. So I have basically been watching the whole season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. I just haven't recapped and reviewed any of the episodes because I didn't know if that was something I was going to do this time around. Last season, I actually recapped and reviewed the entire season finale, which is like a 3 or 4-parter, if I remember correctly. It is under my live tab, so if you wanted to check it out, I mean, it's old news now, I guess, but if you wanted to check it out, you're more than welcome to do so, obviously. But I did do the recap and review. It was very tense. We all know that. So we're not going to go through all the muddling of that per se, because they had a lot of news story information just in this season alone. As I believe that this episode tonight is going to cover the sit down, I like to call it, with the dinner actual scene. I believe that's what this one's going to be, because they've actually started putting out the feelers to get people, interested in knowing that it's coming around the pipe, because they actually were on hiatus last weekend. So I believe there's going to be a lot of confrontation happening in this show. So we'll just have to wait and see. I will be recapping and reviewing that, because there is some question as to how the end is going to go. We already know that at this point, Bravo has shared that they're not going to do a formal reunion for this episode. And reason being is because they felt that their actual finale of the series show was really reunion enough. I mean, what more could you put out on the table? So it looks like the ladies are really just going to kind of go for it all the way. And at this point, it's one of those things that once you've said everything you've said, there's nothing else more to say. And at the end of the day, we all know that there's a lot of ducking and diving, that Andy has to seem to do, and a lot of refereeing on this reunion shows for New Jersey, because they just really have such a hard time being able sometimes to just be in the room and speak. And I know there's some sense of relief about this. And because they did so well, I guess, in exchanging what they needed to do in the season finale, this kind of will probably serve well enough. And it appears to me that we'll probably need a bit of a break from it as well. There has been some talks potentially about maybe they'll do something where each individuals or couples or whatever will watch the actual season or the scenes or whatever the highlights. I'm not really sure how that's all going to mechanically and logistically play out. And then we're going to get their reviews. So we'll see if that's something that any of us will be interested in. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into these insights here, or more or less these revelations, because I'm doing insights in the next video. All right. So we're starting off with Rachel Fuda as she calls out Jennifer Aydin for plotting before cameras picked up. Now, this is a reality tea sharing. And of course, there was lots of things that have been discussed and talked about through the season. I'm just going to be highlighting a couple of major issues that have happened and been addressed here, and just kind of want to share my thoughts and getting your opinions as well. So now, earlier this year, some of the Real Housewives of New Jersey cast members were under fire for allegedly having a strategy session ahead of the season 13 reunion. They wanted to have a meeting of the minds with how to approach the sit down. Now, Rachel Fuda has accused Jennifer Aydin of doing something much worse. During a recent appearance on Watch What Happens Live, Rachel had chatted with Andy Cohen about the drama that went down between Jen and Danielle Cabral. According to Rachel, Jen and this entire storyline scooped out before the cameras started rolling on season 14. And I'll be honest with you, I believe it. I believe it, because when you look at the reactions, if you will, from Jennifer Aydin, just the way that she kind of carried herself and the way that she was really setting forth in the kind of confrontation, it just felt a little bit rehearsed. It felt very contrived to me. The issue itself is not contrived, but it really felt to me like, yeah, I'm going to take something that's not an issue because I don't really have much of a storyline. I'm going to make one here. I'm going to make my mark on this season. And I wonder if that may have really probably cost her rather than helped her. So we'll just see how that goes on. But let's get into it a little further. Jennifer Aydin had a plan, according to Rachel. On Watch What Happens Live, Andy and Rachel reacted to Danielle and Jen's physical altercation. It's ridiculous. And what makes it even more obnoxious is that the entire thing started because of a charity event. According to Jen, Danielle took money that should have gone toward the cause. Danielle denied this, saying she used some of the money to cover expenses for the event and donated the entire amount that was left over, which is, by the way, exactly how things usually work. And I would agree. I mean, yeah, you have to cover the expenses, and then whatever else is there, you'll give to the charity. That makes sense. It seemed like they smoothed things over during Melissa Gorga's limoncello-themed housewarming party. However, their feud got reignited and Teresa's tipsy and Tulum gathering. After watching the drama play out, Rachel had felt like the whole situation was premeditated. Can we think of anything that's more pre-contrived than all that? These girls come into the season with a plan and they execute, Rachel explained. That was the execution of a plan that happened before cameras even picked up. Andy seems surprised by the answer, even though this isn't the first Jen and Teresa have been accused of plotting on their castmates. Much of the discord in the group right now goes back to accusations that Teresa and Louis Ruelas hired a private investigator to dig into the lives of their castmates. In comparison, planning a storyline around a botched charity event seems pretty mild, and I would have to agree with that. Regardless, Rachel has made it crystal clear that she's on Danielle's side of this feud. They may have had their differences in season 13, but at this point, they're both solidly aligned against Teresa and Jen. And that is true. You know, both Jen and Danielle had came on the show together, 2 seasons ago. They came together and we were looking like they were probably going to be the pair, but they quickly kind of fell out, and now they've gotten over a lot of those issues and have really looked to build and rebuild on the friendship that they had, because they really had a lot of things in common. And I think Danielle is now really feeling, as she let her know, I see who you are, as she told that to Jen Aydin. She knows what kind of a person she is, that she has probably had a little bit of regret of not staying really fully committed in the relationship or friendship with Rachel, but sometimes relationships and friendships, they need to have growing pains. So I think she's probably much happier now to be on that side. So I'm curious to know. I personally think that, yeah, it was planned. I think that, you know, at the end of the day, Jennifer Aydin, I know she's She's great for TV, and there's no doubt about that. She's the one that will get in there and give you those end points that you need for a storyline. She tops it off. She gets in there, and I have no issues with that. But I do feel like the particular situation here was, I wish she would have found something else to do that with. But I guess here again is the problem. When you have contrived storylines, that's not reality, right? Now, we already know that the tapings are manipulated and such, but we like to have authentic, make sense stories when it comes to reality TV, no matter how it comes together. And it really did feel like there was a lot of pushing and effort coming out of Jennifer just for the sole purpose to get a gotcha moment. And I don't know if that really played out right and well for her. So in my opinion, I do feel like it was planned. And I think it was planned before the cameras were rolling. I really do. I think that that was something that was already brewing from the ashes of the last season. And it was definitely an easy kind of, fruit laying, what is that, a low lying fruit that she was able to pull from, and it got a reaction. Maybe not quite the reaction she was looking for, since she pretty much got clocked over the head, but she definitely got the reaction. So there you have it. So let me know your thoughts down below about that. Do you think that was planned, or do you think that no, it just kind of went in line with how the story unfolded? All right, so now we're going to move on to Danielle Cabral announcing that the second charity event is actually going to take place. And it was despite Jennifer Aydin's accusations. And so basically what she's saying is, look, I'm moving on. So it's time for a redo. Danielle Cabral's Party Like a Housewife charity event is coming back for a second round. The first edition led to a ton of drama on Real Housewives of New Jersey, but she's not letting any naysayers get her down. Danielle just announced that they are doing it again. And this time Jennifer Aydin isn't anywhere near the guest list. Party Like a Housewife again. As you probably know, Danielle threw this exact same charity event last year and invited Jennifer and Teresa Giudice. Months later, once the Real Housewives of New Jersey cameras had started rolling, Jen accused Danielle of mistreating some of the guests at the event. Then she took her accusations even further by claiming that Danielle mishandled some of the funds that should have gone to charity. And of course, the drama behind the charity event is what prompted the physical altercation that we saw a couple weeks ago between Danielle and Jen. The scuffle almost tainted all of the charitable efforts, but Danielle is going full steam ahead with the second annual edition of Party Like a Housewife. On Instagram, she had announced all of the details and confirmed that her current Real Housewives of New Jersey besties would be in attendance. Same script, different cast. Party Like a Housewife is back. Party 2, Danielle Rhobh. She's really funny with the words, isn't she? It's all going down on August 24th, 2024. And this time she swapped out Jen and Teresa for Rachel, Fuda, and Melissa Gorga. Now, could y'all have guessed that? I know I did. According to Margaret Joseph, she was also supposed to participate, but she had a scheduling conflict, or at least that's what she wants us to think. Regardless of all the drama, a portion of the proceeds from the Party Like a Housewife event will go towards Sunrise Day Camp Staten Island. It's a free day camp that helps kids with cancer and their siblings enjoy some fun. Those kids are the most important part of all of this, so kudos to Danielle for putting in the effort. And of course, the question out here is, would you attend Danielle's charity event? I most certainly would. I think that is a fabulous reason to collect money and give back to the community. Really kudos to Danielle on that. I've always liked Danielle. I didn't know, really how this was going to go, because I really liked her when she first got on, and then she got a little bit of rah-rah for me, and I was a little bit rubbed the wrong way, and so I was kind of just said, let me just lean back a little bit on that. But this last season, or this current season that we're in right now, I'm really liking Danielle. So I'm here for Danielle, and I think that's great that she's doing it. And I'm glad that she continued to move forward with it, because yes, that situation was pretty damning, to basically say, hey, you had a charity and you had some funds and you didn't give it to the charity. I mean, so obviously we can understand how upset she was, because this is, big time, right? This charity work is something that's supposed to be an authentic way of giving back to the community. Nobody wants to be labeled with being someone who steals from a charity. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I don't know if Jennifer didn't realize the gravity of what she was doing and was looking for the clickbait moment versus really what the after effect could be of that. I don't know if Jennifer has ever done anything as far as putting anything together or being a part of anything, because I don't really think we see anything. So that may have something to do with it as well. I mean, I have no idea if you are aware of her being a part of any charities or doing anything actually to this kind of extent. Then feel free to, provide that below, because they don't share it on the show. And if she does, maybe that would be helpful. But even so, and irregardless, making accusations like that is a cheap shot. And if it's not true, it's just definitely wrong. So, I would definitely, want to know your thoughts about that. And also, what do you think of Danielle inviting Melissa and Rachel this time around? I think that was inevitable. I think that was, of course, it was going to happen. Those are her new buddies now. And here we go. It makes sense. That's fine. Now, interesting enough, she didn't invite Teresa. So we'll see if that means something later on. So now we're going to move on to why Jennifer Aydin's friendship with Teresa Giudice might be doomed. Now, of course, this is partly into the aftermath of what took place, right? So we want to know if what ended up happening is going to cause a bit of a strain on that relationship. And as we can see, if you've been watching, it was delved into a little bit the last episode, which was a couple of weeks ago that aired, and it looked like, Teresa felt that, if you had stepped into my face or someone stepped into my face, I would have a reaction. And we all know Teresa would have had a reaction. So she didn't seem to be kind of going along fully with Jennifer Aydin's way of thinking. And Jennifer was taken aback by that. So let's get into this real quick. Jennifer Aydin joined the cast of Real Housewives of New Jersey in season 9. She buddied up to Teresa Giudice, and they have been tight ever since. I often wonder too about this, and this could be an unpopular opinion, but I wonder if that was really partially to the fact that she was trying to get to whoever she considered the queen bee and who was running the show, and thought that that was the best way to go. You can let me know your thoughts. I don't know how authentic the relationship is. I mean, maybe over time it's become authentic, but I do always think about the intentions in the beginning. But I would love to know your thoughts on that. If she is, great. If she's not, that's, great too, I guess. But times are changing on Real Housewives of New Jersey, as they often do, right? Alliances do flip-flop sometimes. And the cast is divided into 2 separate groups. Team Teresa has Jennifer and Jackie Goldschneider, which I'm not as much of a fan of right now at this point, and forming an unlikely trio. Plus floater Dolores Catania, who was friends with both groups. I wonder how long that's going to last. We'll see after this sit-down dinner. During season 14, viewers have saw instances of Teresa not backing Jennifer, and now it looks like Jennifer's friendship with Teresa might be doomed. Now, Jennifer Aydin has always been loyal to Teresa Giudice. Jennifer has wholeheartedly supported Teresa during the 10th season. She had Teresa's back after the OG urged Danielle stop to pull Margaret Joseph's ponytail. Unfortunately, Danielle nearly dragged Margaret across the boutique, and it was awful. According to People, Jennifer said, "I felt bad for Teresa. Honestly, I did. I know why she said what she said, and I know why she did it." She added that Teresa didn't know what it would be such a violent act, though, seriously. Jennifer also defended Teresa's husband, Louis Reales, as you may recall, both Dolores and Jennifer were part of Teresa's bridal party when she wed Louis, and in this instance, Jennifer had went above and beyond to protect Louis. Somehow, she came up with an alternate theory as to why Louis would wear Teresa's deceased father's Jacinto Nana Gorga's pajamas at night. I think I call him Nano, right? Or Nono? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. I'm just going to say her father. When Teresa's co-stars weighed in on Louis' bizarre revelation, Jennifer gave it a different spin. Louis never got to meet Teresa's father, she explained. Maybe this is the way that he can be like, "I love your daughter and I hope I have your blessing." That was a little bit weird. I mean, if y'all remember and you watched it, it's a little weird. In my opinion, Louis strolling around and here we go. Teresa's father's pajamas was creepy AF. I would agree. But Teresa should be grateful that whenever there was a problem, Jennifer stood beside her. Teresa demands loyalty above all else, so she should appreciate Jennifer's support. Teresa Aydin was shoved under the bus by Teresa Giudice. At Danielle Cabral's Bougie Brunch, the host confronted Jennifer and Teresa about setting her up last season. Of course, Jennifer denied manipulating Danielle to reveal the fake Melissa Gorga cheating rumor on camera, which we got to see that last season, and which was a lot of the premise of the actual finale and the takedown that was going to happen then. But Teresa was salty that Danielle brought the subject up again. She flatly told Danielle that she didn't bring up the rumor, Jennifer did. That was the truth, but Teresa had defended others who did much worse. This is when we start to see a crack in the duo's friendship. Do Jennifer Aydin and Teresa Giudice have a close friendship? According to Danielle, maybe not. What you don't know is I had a close relationship with Jen than Jen did with Teresa. I would talk on the phone with Jen all the time, Danielle said. So this is why she's also, additionally hurt by what was going on that night. She would come over my house and we would go away with the kids. With Jen, I gave her more of a friendship than I know Teresa ever has. Danielle had added, wow, could Teresa and Jennifer's friendship be superficial? Just for filming Real Housewives of New Jersey? I thought they were friends in real life. This is an interesting twist. Now, Teresa Giudice didn't side with Jennifer Aiden after the Danielle Cabral fight. The simmering feud between Jennifer and Danielle ignited in a physical altercation after Jennifer accused Danielle of allegedly stealing from a charity and trying to sabotage her hairstylist business venture. Danielle had called her dirty. Their verbal screaming match escalated when Jennifer shoved Danielle, so Danielle slammed a plastic cup against Jennifer's head. Afterwards, both ladies were temporarily suspended from filming because of the incident. During a recent episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey, when Teresa and Jen Fessler went to Jennifer's house, Teresa made her position clear. Your feelings are validated, but the thing is with me, I feel like I'm in the middle. Like I feel bad I'm going to Danielle's event and that you're not going to be there. Teresa told Jennifer, are you okay with me going? Mind you, this is a turnaround for play, right? Because Jennifer had went to the, what was it? The Limoncello home house party, home welcoming party, house party, whatever. I can't think of the actual term right now, for Melissa's. And she had made a point to say, I think that Teresa would prefer me not to go. So now, hey, turnaround is for a play. She's now doing the same thing to her. But of course, Jen has a little bit more of an issue with this. Jennifer replied, it's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to go. Well, of course she's not, because Teresa's not going to listen. She's going to do whatever she wants to do, right? But clearly it wasn't fine with the mom of five, obviously. Danielle hasn't done anything to me yet, Teresa explained. Still, Jennifer seems stunned by her friend's reaction, but I don't care who it is. Somebody punches you upside the head, I'm not gonna even like them, whether they did something to me or not, Jennifer explained. I would never. However, at Danielle's Bougie Kids relaunch, Teresa defended Jennifer. She denied that Jennifer accused Danielle of stealing from a charity. She also urged Danielle to make up with Jennifer. I'm sure that would make Teresa's life easier, of course, because Teresa doesn't want to be in the middle. Teresa Giudice hurt Jennifer Aiden's feelings. When Teresa told Jennifer that she was going to Danielle's event, it upset Jennifer. I'm disappointed in Teresa that she's going. I thought she was a loyal friend. And now you go to the girls' party that hit me? Like, that's no good. Jennifer stated in her confessional, she had added, I'm just disappointed and my feelings are hurt. When Teresa chose to attend Danielle's event, it pulled back the curtain on their relationship. Did Teresa ask Jennifer if she could go? Yes. Would Teresa go no matter what Jennifer said? Also, yes. It seems like Jennifer's friendship with Teresa might be doomed to save it. Teresa would have to show up and be loyal to Jennifer right now. But that isn't what viewers are seeing during season 14 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. And plus, Teresa has a history of falling out with friends, and it looks like it's Jennifer's turn. If Jennifer Aiden's friendship with Teresa Giudice doomed, I don't know. You tell me. My thoughts is, at the end of the day, do I think it's doomed? I think there are going to probably they're hitting a rough spot because Teresa firmly has her feelings about certain things, and Teresa does tend to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from my recollection of Teresa's behavior with a lot of people, she tends to ride hard for people, and it doesn't really go against them unless they go against her. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, and if I am, tell me an example of how I'm wrong about it, because I'm not really sure on that. So it didn't seem that it was abnormal for her to say, well, Daniel didn't do anything to me yet, so I'm cool with her. And I feel the same thing with Margaret and Danielle as well, because Danielle and Margaret were cool, and then they fell out, and Teresa was in the middle of that situation, but Teresa still continued to be cool with Danielle and Margaret at the same time. And then a situation happened as far as those two falling out. And I don't think it was just about the hair pulling situation, because I think that something happened obviously before that for Teresa to actually, kind of egg Danielle on to do that. So there was something brewing. It's been a few seasons ago now, and I just simply don't remember. We probably will get some kind of recap about that, but who knows at this point. There's a lot going on right now with just the alliance shifting at this point. So let me know your thoughts. I really would love to know, just about what you think overall in regards to Mauricio and getting that shout out from his old friend. Do you think it was appropriate, or do you think, yeah, it's good, whatever, and also let me know, do you think, or what do you think about Rachel, basically sharing that, hey, look, this was, a preconceived, pre-contrived situation. I am in the camp with Rachel on this one. I do think that's the case. Let me know your thoughts. Did Jennifer do this on purpose for the storyline? Did she already have this kind of set out for Danielle? Let me know. And also, do you think Teresa and Jennifer Aydin's relationship it's its time on the carousel to go round and round like hers and Jacqueline's maybe in the past? I guess we'll have to see, but let me know your thoughts down below. And of course, I will be back again with another video that will have a bit of a second part to this one, but it's going to kind of go along with more insights that were provided, in the season. So I want to share those as well, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of split that up a little bit. Okay, so that one should be going up here within short order, probably the next hour or so from the uploading of this video, and hopefully enough time for you to see both of them before the actual premiere tonight. But even if you don't get a chance to see both of them before the premiere, come on back though and still leave your thoughts and communicate with me on this, because I really would like to know what your thoughts and what you're thinking about this if you're watching the show. So I think with that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much for watching and spending some time with me, and I hope to see you back in the next video. And I guess until then, I'll say until then, I will bid you adieu. Bye.